In this video, we're going to be looking at how to apply the sine and cosine rule in order to find an unknown side or an unknown angle. One of the biggest problems students face is knowing when to use the sine rule or the cosine rule. Looking at my question on the left-hand side, I can see I've got angle B, the side opposite to angle B, angle A, and the side opposite to angle A. Because I've got pairs of opposites, I know for this question I'll be using the sine rule. The sine rule comes in two forms. A over sine A is equal to B over sine B, which is equal to C over sine C. The alternative form of the sine rule is sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, which is equal to sine C over C. In this question, I'm going to be using the one at the bottom, simply because I'm calculating an angle. In terms of notation, the side opposite to a particular angle is the lowercase of the letter. So the side opposite to angle A is A, and the side opposite to angle B is B. With this question, I have side A and angle A, side B, and I need to work out angle B. And I have neither the information for angle C or side C, nor do I need it. So I will cross this bit out. Now that I know I'm using sine A over A is equal to sine B over B, let's substitute in the information that I've been given. The sine of 27 divided by 12 is equal to the sine of y divided by 5. Rearranging this, I know that sine y is equal to the sine of 27 divided by 12 multiplied by 5. Doing the inverse of sine gives me arcsine of sine 27 over 12 multiplied by 5. Using my calculator and round into one decimal place, this gives me 10.9 degrees. Moving on to question 2. I've got angle A and side A, side B and side C, and I neither have angle B or angle C. Here you can see that I've got an angle sandwiched between two sides that I've been given. In this case, I'll be using the cosine rule in order to work out a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times by the cosine of angle A. So substituting in the information I've been given, that y squared is equal to 5 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 5 times 8 times by the cosine of 48. Evaluating what I can, 5 squared is 25, 8 squared is 64, and I'm going to take away 2 times 5 times 8 times by the cosine of 48. Simplifying again, 25 plus 64, take away 2 times 5 is 10 times by 8 is 80 times by the cosine of 48. 25 plus 64 is 89. Take away 80 times the cosine of 48. I know that this is equal to y squared, and I need to work out what y is equal to. That means I need to take the square root of 89, take away 80 times by the cosine of 48. Grabbing a calculator and typing this in to one decimal place gives me 6.0 centimeters. For the third question, I have all three sides and an angle. In order to use the sine rule, I need to be given at least one angle and its opposite side. In order to work out an unknown angle or side, that happens to come as a separate pair. So this question again is a cosine rule question. I have an angle sandwiched between two sides that I've been given. One of the biggest things that I'm going to do with this question is I'm actually going to relabel the whole triangle to make it easier for me. I'm going to call this one angle A, which means that this will be side A. I'm going to relabel angle A to be C, which will mean that this will be side C. So I have lowercase a as being 6 centimeters, side B as being 9 centimeters, and side C, which is 8 centimeters. And I'm trying to work out angle A. I'm going to use the cosine rule for this question. So the cosine rule is a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of A. Substituting in what I can, a squared will be 6 squared, b squared is 9 squared, plus 8 squared minus 2 times 9 times 8 times by the cosine. Evaluating what I can, 36 is equal to 81 plus 64 minus 2 times 9 times 8 times the cosine of y. 36 will equal 81 plus 64 minus 9 times 8 is 72, and times that by 2 is 144, times by the cosine of y. 36 will equal 81 plus 64 is 145. Take away 144 times by the cosine of y. Subtracting 145 from both sides gives me negative 109 is equal to negative 144 times by the cosine of y. Divide both sides by negative 144 will give me the cosine of y is equal to the negative 109 over negative 144, and to find y, I need to do the inverse of cosine, which is arc cos of negative 109 over negative 144. Grabbing a calculator and typing this in to one decimal place gives me y as being 40.8 degrees. So in summary, if we have opposite angle and side pairs, like we had in the first question, this will imply that I'm using the sine rule. Use version 1 of the sine rule if you're calculating the side. Use version 2 of the sine rule if you're calculating an angle. To use a cosine rule, there has to be a sandwich of two sides and an angle, but we could also see this as the connection of three sides and one angle in a non-right angle triangle.